Your handheld does way more than just play games. You have a ROG Ally, Steamdeck, Legion Go, Ayaneo, whatever you may have. Once you get a proper dock, the potential comes from a 5 to an absolute 10. We're entering a new day and age where you don't necessarily need that giant desktop PC. It's one thing if you're rendering a Pixar short film, but it's another when we like to play games on our casual time, occasionally edit videos or play on Photoshop, maybe go to school or something, that as well. But maybe you're looking at buying a handheld or you have one, it's just to play your games. Put this into perspective here. The Legion Go is the headliner right now in regards to commercial retailing. This bad boy right here is literally just a tablet. I've talked about this in other videos. You can work with this tablet. You can treat it like you would an iPad. And then when you come home, you just plug it in. And now it's a full-blown desktop PC that plays the games that you want to play. That's just so cool. That's where we're at nowadays. And it's only going to become more like that. But this is my setup. I don't have a tower PC. I don't have really anything. I can just pack my bags and leave my apartment, live somewhere else, and pick up exactly where I left off because I just use my Legion Go and my ROG Ally as my Windows computer. I can edit videos with these things. If I wanted to make a mini game in Unreal Engine, I could do that as well. And with the Legion Go having detachable controllers, there is no reason for me to buy a Windows laptop. And there's no reason for me to buy a gaming Windows laptop for $2,000. The Steam Deck isn't running an RTX series graphics card, but we have a little gift and it's called AI upscaling, right? AI upscaling is only getting better and better and better. You're seeing what is happening with these frame rates tripling. It's just crazy that we're at this day and age. You also don't need the heaviest equipment to have a good experience when you're playing with your games. Now, a dock is absolutely necessary. If you want to plug your device into a giant TV and play from the couch, or you want to use it as a computer and edit your videos, or you want to trade stocks, whatever it is, you do need a dock. All the dock really is an intersection. It's where you can plug in your HDMI, you can plug in your monitor, you can plug in your mouse and your keyboard, you can plug in your speakers or your headphones, Ethernet cable, and then you also plug in your Legion Go. All while at the same time charging your device and giving you peak output. Now here's the thing, I've made some mistakes when purchasing a dock. Unfortunately, you can make mistakes with this stuff. I made this video because I don't want you to make the same mistake. You know, the first dock I got, I was super stoked to play Starfield on my monitor. It shipped, I plug it in, the resolution is distorted. So I return that dock, I get another dock. But what the crap, there's freaking latency. So I return that dock and then I get my third one. What the crap, my ROG Ally is stuck at 25 watts. I can't even hit turbo mode because the dock can't push enough power into my device. What the I need to do my part by providing you the best content I possibly can. So please correct me on what I'm lacking and what I need to fix. I'm not going to ask you to subscribe because if you like the content, you'll do that already. So there's different kinds of docks that you can buy. I'll start with the cheapest. These are ones that I recommend, that I confirm because I've tried them. You can start with the cheapest one, which is $15.99, and it is very simple, but it does its job really well. 4K, 60 Hertz, HDMI. All it is just your USB-C, and then you can plug in a charger from the side, but you can now extend your handheld onto a bigger screen. You can use your Steam Deck as a basic controller. Also, if you have a Bluetooth controller, you might want to be using that for these kinds of limited docks. Unfortunately, half of you guys are rocking Windows like I am, and sometimes this can be a little glitchy, as you know. And so sometimes you have to unplug it and then use the keyboard, then plug it back in, and then the resolution is all wacky again, so you have to readjust it into the settings. That's the problem you're gonna get, but for $15.99, it's gonna get the job done. So the next one I bought was the Hiearcool USB-C hub. And this is more something that you might have laying around the house. If you have a Mac, you probably have one of these. This one in particular has an HDMI output. Now the problem is that, as you can see here, it is 3840 by 2160 at 30 hertz. It has HDMI 1.0. That was when Starfield looked like a sandwich. So you have to look at the HDMI. Is it HDMI 1.0, 2.0? What is the full resolution that it can push on you? And can it do 30 hertz, 60 hertz, or even up to 120 hertz, which will show you? That is something you have to keep a very keen eye on, because if it lacks the output, the experience will be horrible. And you're gonna have to do a lot of settings and configurations and modifying just to get it to feel right. This one is the Hiearcool gaming dock 6-in-1. This has 4K 60 HDMI 2.0, and this does the job perfectly. I can plug in my keyboard, my mouse, things like that. The problem is that it lacks USB-C. So keep in mind, with traditional desktop PCs, you have tons of ports in the front and a bunch of ports in the back. Your handheld device doesn't have many ports, just USB-C really. So the dock has to substitute for that. Now this one is the alpha male of docks, I think. This one is the RGB docking station by JSaux, or I don't know how you say it, but 4K, 120 hertz, HDMI 2.0, has its own display port, which is what I use, and if you have the chance, I recommend you use that. You'll run into many less problems, and the transfer speeds are much faster than HDMI. Not by much, but yeah. The thing about these docks is there's like specifications that you really have to dive into. You've got USB-A, USB-C, USB-C 2.0, 2.1, 3.1, Gen 1, Gen 2, it's just crazy. Then you have HDMI. Now, as far as game performance goes, I'll be honest here, you're gonna sacrifice a few frames. I'm playing on a 34-inch monitor. But what blows my mind is the fact that the performance difference between this handheld screen versus your monitor, for me, is barely anything. Sure, it's like 5 or 6 frames. It's crazy. I mean, if you can play it on your ROG Ally, you can play it on your monitor. It might take away 3 or 5 frames, but you're still going to play it perfectly. Of course, you're going to have to bump down the settings. You're going to have to turn up the upscaling quite a bit. May not look as pretty, but I will tell you that it's very playable. If you're doing a lot of first-person shooter games, you don't really have to worry. If you have the right dock, you don't have to worry about latency. You can play professionally. You can carry your friends in Warzone. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Like I said before, just let me know. I always want to improve on this stuff, and so it helps if you tell me what to do. But also, let me know what else you guys want from this channel. I mean, it's really up to you guys, not so much me. I enjoy all this tech stuff so freaking much. So just, yeah, thank you. Let me know how you like the video too. Some positive morale really goes a long way. For me, at least, when people like it, I know I'm doing something right. So thank you again for watching, and take care, everybody.